Bloomberg has reported that the deal in terms of NVIDIA buying Arm from SoftBank for around $40 billion, that is imminent. So what are the goals that SoftBank is hoping to accomplish by this sale, and is that a good price?
SoftBank's Masayoshi Son has been on a serious spree of divesting assets. SoftBank's been looking for a win, and in recent weeks, they've certainly sold a few things, but Arm being sold for around $40 billion would be one of its biggest exits ever. Remember, SoftBank bought the company for about $32 billion in 2016, and there were a lot of questions around this investment and how it had been paying off. So we don't know the exact price of the deal with NVIDIA, but once it's announced, we'll know more as to whether this is a good outcome for SoftBank. But certainly selling Arm to a big company like NVIDIA, which has a $300 billion market cap, is something no one was really expecting. So it probably is a win for SoftBank.
That's if the deal goes through regulatory scrutiny and they get the okay, right? So what are we expecting from other rivals of Arm like Samsung, Apple, and Qualcomm, for example?
We've reported on some of the regulatory hurdles around this deal. This is going to be a long slog. Once it's announced, it could take semiconductor deals sometimes a year to go through. NVIDIA's last deal for Mellanox took over a year to be approved globally. So this is no slam dunk. I wouldn't be surprised if some of Arm's customers, which are competitors to NVIDIA, like an Intel, Qualcomm, Samsung, maybe behind the scenes, they'll try to lobby against this. So it's going to be a really interesting year to see what transpires here and whether it does get approved.
Right. So I suppose the question is, given some of the reporting, how does the company then parlay the Arm sale into a potential take-private deal for SoftBank? Is it really feasibly at more than $100 billion? And I want to throw up this chart that takes a look at, yes, market cap is sitting at around $115 billion, but total liabilities in that yellow part of the chart there is almost $250 billion. The assets at $70 billion, most of which is sitting in cash at around $50 billion. So what is kind of the most, I guess, feasible and the most advantageous situation that Masa could arrive at here?
A deal of that size, as you pointed out, it's huge. This would be one of the biggest take-privates of all time. But SoftBank's chairman, Masayoshi Son, is certainly addicted to risk and to deal-making. This isn't the first time that SoftBank has looked at a take-private. Earlier this year in March, when Elliott Management, the hedge fund, was agitating, there were reports that SoftBank was looking to go private at that point, with support from Elliott and also from a sovereign wealth fund in Abu Dhabi. So SoftBank would really have to line up a lot of capital here, even though they're going to have a nice windfall from the sale of Arm. There's going to be a lot more capital they need to go private. It's an interesting idea. I'm sure some bankers would love this to be attempted, but it's truly one of the largest deals ever attempted of all time. So I would say it would be pretty tricky to go through, although, the Vision Fund, that was the first $100 billion fund we ever saw. So you never know with SoftBank.